You don't have anything to give that you don't have. So you have to keep your own self full. That's your job. So how do you continue to prepare yourself to live out the highest, fullest, truest expression of yourself?
Welcome back to Views from a Cubicle. I realized in listening back to the first episode, I didn't even introduce who I actually am. And I wanted to just take a second and let you know that I'm a pencil pusher, but bigger than that, a dreamer. So yes, I spend most of my day in an office, but my mind is elsewhere, which brings us to this podcast, which is about, in a word, dreaming, right? And not just dreaming, like how do you create the life that you want beyond your dream? And that's actually sort of where the convo is going to go today. Last week we talked about relationships, which I revealed is probably a big dream of mine. I'm whispering because I don't want people to know that, I guess, subconsciously. But yeah, we talked about relationships last week with super producers Sophia and Craig, who are still a part of the team. And I also didn't introduce them properly or even credit them properly because they produced the hell out of that episode. Thank you guys. And this week, I actually listened to a podcast that you all might be familiar with, Still Processing, with Jenna Worthman and Wesley Morris from New York Times. So it's kind of highbrow. They're really smart. They always make me feel smarter when I listen to it. So, I would suggest listening to it. But they had an episode, this really dope episode about 444, the album, Jay-Z's album, and Lemonade, and just the crossroads of both of their works and, what it's about. But bigger than that, like bigger than what they were talking about in the entire episode, what really caught my attention was when they got to the summation. Jay and Beyonce are basically creating the love and the life that they want together, right? Like they are two huge stars that are beyond probably their wildest imaginations. And there's no example for them, right? There's no example of what's the right way to do it, if they'll get it right every time. And, to a degree, they're allowing us to watch. And I thought it was super powerful that here are these probably really successful people that we all perhaps create as a benchmark for our own lives, and they're still making mistakes and getting back up and trying again. Which brings me to my show today. I have the most awesome person that I know, or I shouldn't say that, right? She is awesome, but I know so many awesome people and so many people who like personally inspire me with what they're doing with their own lives. And this young lady is just that. Like, she's creating her own life in her own way and trying to figure it out as she goes. Her name is, I should say, Jamela Joseph. Say hi, Jamela.
Hello, everyone.
She is by trade a tech designer, has been doing that for almost a decade.
Close
right?
to it. About 7 years.
A makeup artist by trade as well. She can beat the out of her face.
I try my best.
She does more than her best. She's really, really good at it. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, she's created a business, Enhancing Beauty by Jay, where she teaches everyday women how to do professional makeup in the most easy way. Like, the room is just so comfortable. She makes you feel really comfortable, makes you laugh and have a good time. And she feeds you behind. Who's feeding you? Who feeds you when you pay for these like expensive classes? She does. And we had a good time. Feed your mind, feed your soul.
Feed your face.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to have you here and talk about your experience with us. How's it going?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
It's going good. I'm so excited to actually be here with you to talk to you about this process that I'm living. This life that I'm going through. This growth challenge called life.
I know. So I'm taking things for granted, right? Like, you and I talk often, and I know a lot about you, but most people don't. So I want you to just take a second and
Well, I mean, where do you want me to start? I can start many places. You want me to start from birth, or you want me to just jump right into it?
let's start from your career. Like, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So I am a technical designer by day. So I've been a technical designer for almost 7 years. I basically have worked for Arapastyle, American Eagle, The Limited, and now I am working with a small company called Unfltrd that works with Target, Kohl's, and I basically work on swimwear right now for little girls. And then when I'm sick and tired of them,
when you're sick and tired of them,
I go home and I research the hell out of makeup. And I've been doing that even while I'm at work. I'm looking up trends. I'm looking up the next, go-to palette. I'm looking up who's, the next up-and-coming makeup artist. I'm basically just trying to keep up with the makeup industry
Seriously?
while I'm at work.
Wow.
So for me, and that's where, most of my actual growth and basically my passion developed. Basically how, views from a cubicle. Well, views from my cubicle were, I need to start doing more makeup because that's my real passion.
Okay.
It's fun. It makes me smile. It even makes me cry because
Really?
a lot of time I've done clients where they start crying because they couldn't even believe that this beauty can come out of them with just a little bit of mascara, so
That's powerful.
it definitely is. Girl, it makes me so emotional because at that point, that's when I get chills and I start to feel like, okay, well, I'm doing the right thing. I feel like even as a fashion designer and a fashion major back at FIT, I felt like my craft was basically to use my hands. So anything I can do, I put my mind to, I can do with my hands, basically. I can draw, I can sew, I can braid if I wanted to, and now it's like, okay, I can apply makeup to the best of my abilities and then have somebody just walk out feeling like $1 million, so my hands, thank you God for providing me with that gift and talent to actually, be the face when I need to.
I think that's so dope.
Yeah.
And honestly, it looks like second nature to you. I know you've only been doing it. Well, how long have you been
for
doing
like
it?
2.5 years, almost 2.5 years. Yeah,
And
so
you
I'm
studied
still fresh
this
out
as well, right?
Yeah, so I'm still fresh out. Basically, how I got started was, one day I was just sitting around, I think at home, and I'm reviewing things on blogs and everything. And of course,
That's how it starts.
Yeah, and of course, I've always worn makeup throughout high school
Right.
and college. And then, as I look at it now, I'm like, oh my God, it was terrible. But at one point, I reached out to a friend of mine and I told her what my interest was and how, I want to get more involved in makeup. And I used to basically do the makeup for some of the girls in her photo shoots. Like she's a bridal designer. Her name is Pantora, Andrea Pitter. And I basically used to do the makeup at her photo shoots. And from there it was like, maybe I should continue to do this. And I started off with a really small kit. A little cheap briefcase that I got from Home Goods. And I would just throw everything in there. Eyeshadows, brushes, any little cheap thing that I could find that I felt would beat a face real good. I tossed that in there and took that to her photo shoots. And I would keep, just applying lipstick and all that stuff on the girls. And it turned out pretty well. And then from there, her business started growing. So she started to make more connections. She introduced me to this really, really amazing woman, Shamika Bowman, and she is the best. I met up with her one afternoon and I told her I want to learn how to do makeup. So that was my first one-on-one from someone actually teaching me how to apply makeup correctly. Now I knew how to do certain steps. Like she told me I could master an eyebrow to save my life. So I knew how to do an eyebrow. But as far as everything else, making sure that color correcting and skin tone and everything was perfect, she helped me actually perfect that and eyeshadow blending and all that too. So from there, I basically left her house.
Okay. And
a couple weeks later, I got certified.
Seriously?
Yeah. A couple weeks later, I decided to join this small school out here in Midtown called Nina Mua.
Okay.
A slim Russian lady that owns a fabulous business, teaching girls, basically certifying, young up-and-coming makeup artists. And it was a 6 or 7 week crash course.
Wow.
And I did it every night after work. And I got certified.
That sounds like a long day.
It was long days, but it was all worth it.
Of course.
because I had to travel back and forth, of course, with my kit, you know, and that can be a struggle in itself because you want to take everything with you to this class. And it was really a crash course. Like, it was intensive. And then sometimes she would even ask if you can stay longer
Really?
so that she can help you perfect certain things that she taught for that day, you know?
Wow.
So with that, after I got certified, I had a vision, like
What
every
was your
other
vision?
person. My vision was, okay, this was a struggle, but I like it. And I feel like I'm sitting back watching so much, so many other women out here applying makeup incorrectly. So I think it's time for me to show them how to do it the right way.
Nice.
And from that, I was just like, I'm going to do a workshop.
That sounds like you just challenged yourself.
I really did, because
Nice.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I literally said to myself, okay, well, let's just do a small test trial. And I got my best friend, her cousins, and we did it in her living room, on her dining table. I set it up all cute and stuff. I made it look so legit. Yeah, I really did.
What I experienced when I went to your class?
Yes,
Seriously?
but smaller. So it was
Okay.
like 6 people, and I got labels printed out, business cards. I made gift bags. I did the whole 9.
That is
just
so-
so that I can get myself prepared to do it for a larger group. Started off with 6. They loved it. They appreciated every little trinket and gift that they got in their bag.
Wow.
And they were happy.
Yep.
And not only that, the theme of it was mascara Moscato.
Okay.
So from there, you know, I basically wanted to find out their feedback and, you know, how they enjoyed it and what I should change and what I should tweak. And of course,
right.
I'm huge on presentation. So for me, that was like a major importance. So they appreciated everything from that. They took away a lot from it. They learned a lot from it. A lot of them felt like now they know how to master an eyebrow.
Right.
They know how to contour now. It was challenging, but I walked away saying, okay, wow, that was only 6 people. Now let's see if I can get 20 people to come.
Nice.
And I literally created flyers. I did a photo shoot, and I created a flyer after the photo shoot. And all of this was definitely a struggle because it's hard to find models. It's hard to find a photographer that's going to trust you with their time. And, you know, then you have to actually just kind of like wait on them to give you your photos. And then you have to get it edited. And it's just so much. It's a long process. But I did it. I created the flyers. And with friends and family attending, the first
Right.
one sold out.
That's
So I
insane.
literally had 20 people and maybe 30 people wanted to attend. So a month later, I did another one. And that was a struggle as well because it's hard. You have to find the place. You have to make sure it's in a decent location where it's not hot and humid
Right.
because you actually want these people to be comfortable. And I mean, the space was
and
small.
the makeup to stay on their face.
Right. And, you know, you want them to have a good time because I look at it as not only is it a place where you would come and get your makeup done, but you're also going to network. You're going to meet women of all different shades
That's
that
true.
are friendly and just want to mingle and, you know, just network. So from there, the second one happened a month later, and I've always kept the theme consistent. So it was Mascara and Moscato. Enhancing Beauty by Jay presents Mascara and Moscato. And of course, it was like unlimited wine. So I try to make it really girly and just things that women would appreciate.
Right.
Like, who doesn't love unlimited Moscato?
I mean, I'm here for it.
Everybody
Seriously.
loves it. So that stuck with me. That was one of the things that the girls appreciated when I did the mini test trial.
Okay.
And then from there, it was like, okay, well, maybe I could take a break. So I did 2 in 1 year because it was really, really hectic. The second one sold out, of course. And then, of course, the third one that you recently came to. And that was at a new location, which I was really, really excited about.
And it was packed. It was
And it
so
was
many
so
women
good.
there.
I loved it. It just made me feel good. You know, like when I do it, it just makes me feel really, really, really good. Like I walk away from it thinking, okay, well, you said you want to take a break, but do you really want to take a break? Because you had a lot of fun. So maybe you should do another one.
I think that's good. Like, I think
Yeah.
recognizing that, yeah, you do have a point of exhaustion, whatever it might be,
Oh, yeah.
but realizing, like, even how, like, you sort of stumbled in the beginning and figured out I need to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're done, you're like, oh, okay, I can cut this out and do something different.
yeah.
I think it's so inspiring.
Yeah, I definitely had to make a couple of changes.
Of course.
I did some setbacks and, you know, I don't really have a team. My team is my mom and my boyfriend, and we basically
Figure
rented
it
up
out.
we rented a U-Haul truck and packed up the van the night before, and then the day of, it was like, okay, my call time is 8 o'clock, and get there and decorate and clean and set it up and make sure everything is right for the women that are coming. And it's hectic.
It is. I can imagine.
Yeah, and
I
I
can
just say
imagine.
thank God for my mom, because she's basically my team.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, well, if you ever need anything, girl, I can call somebody.
Of course. I mean, you definitely looked out for me in this one,
I
Thank
had a
you.
good time.
Yes, it was amazing, and I appreciate you for coming.
So beyond like where you are now, right? And even, and it's so good to hear that even despite like any like small setbacks that you might have, or moments where you feel just pushed to your limit, that when you're done, you reflect, like you think back, and it's just an awesome place that you are. I'm so happy that you continue to push forward. But what about your vision going forward? Like, do you see bigger, better, more people?
I
Like,
definitely
what do you
do.
see?
So, I mean, right now, it's all about skill building for me. Like, I love to learn, and I feel
Nice.
like at this point, I've done 3. I'm happy I've done 3.
Okay.
And now I want to revamp and do some more.
Okay.
But I want to put a twist to it. Like, I love makeup. The reason why I chose Enhancing Beauty by Jay is because I feel like makeup should literally just enhance your beauty. I'm all for a cut crease or a contoured face on a daily basis, but I do feel like your everyday woman just wants to have something that, makes her look a little flawless. She wants something that's quick, a quick routine, something that she can probably just touch up, put a few things in her purse and touch up on the way out to go party at night after work or something, for drinks with some women. And, I feel like my next step would definitely be, okay, how can I put a twist to this? How can I get more women to come, but also keep them intrigued, keep them wanting more,
Right.
So I don't really have it all figured out yet, but I definitely know that skill building for me is next. In order for me to perfect my craft, I definitely need to take some time to work on myself and gain more clientele and, just get up there and connect and network and, work more on the business.
Okay.
I love the workshops, which is why I said, okay, maybe twice a year it'll be good to do them. But I definitely want to work more on the business, more on Enhancing Beauty by Jay. I have a heavy interest in bridal. So that's my next step.
It's a huge industry.
Yeah.
Amazon is trying to get into like bridal
wear.
It's crazy. Like, really, Amazon?
It doesn't surprise me.
Are you going to eat
It
up
doesn't
everybody?
surprise me. They just might.
Oh,
They
God.
just might. It does not surprise me at all. But yeah, bridal is definitely a growing industry. And it's something that I've heard from so many women that they just want to look and feel like themselves when they get married. They don't want to look overdone. And again, to tie back in with Enhancing Beauty, it's like, that's where I fit in. I feel like I'm perfect for an everyday bride that just wants to, like, enhance her beauty on the day of. So yeah, that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to get heavily into. Again, going back to this amazing woman, Shamika Bowman, that I was introduced to. She's also a makeup artist, and her main focus is brides.
Really?
As well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a competitive field though.
Sure.
So
But
sometimes
there's
I
space,
do.
and you just have to carve your space out. Just like
Exactly.
you're creating your life, you have to create that space for yourself. Like, I would even venture to say, like, sort of push yourself to see like the end goal too. Like, I'm sure you do, but even like just seeing it fully, like seeing just your wildest imagine whatever you can think of that's like just the biggest idea, just go for that.
If I fail, then I will find out what is the next thing for me. What is the next true thing for me? Because I knew that the time would come where what I needed would show up for me.
Okay.
And when that showed up, I was ready.
I agree. There's so many things that come to mind when I think about my business and the next step that I could take, and like, excuse me, and like, just possibly working with other makeup artists the way I did in this event. I felt like, of course, in the makeup industry, it's kind of hard to just do it on your own. Sometimes you do need that help or that push from another makeup artist. I'm also trying to build my following in order to actually gain more exposure and also that would definitely be the next step for me, working on the brand and working on myself in order to get ahead.
You seem like you partner with, didn't you have like another makeup artist
And the
at the
second
not
one?
yeah, like I
Yeah.
thought that was smart to
Yeah.
sort of like balance the room out and even show like different styles.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't push themselves to work with people
To connect.
Right, it's so
Yeah.
competitive sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of awesome that you're willing to like
Teamwork makes the dream work. I know
Really?
you heard that before.
really
But I feel like, you know, working with other people can only help you out.
sure.
They'll always show you something that you've missed or something that you don't know. That's how you learn. Okay, you learn from the best. You know, always going back to Shamika, mainly because I really do admire her grind and her push.
Nice.
Working with her has allowed me to see that you can't just sit back and wait for things to come to you.
Right.
She's always there in case you need her. So any simple questions that I may need to ask her about paying, or, you know, like how much I should charge, or, you know, just the simple things in order to get my business up and running, like I can definitely count on her. And even Shantae, who was featured at my recent event.
Yes.
Shantae is amazing. Like, she is a makeup artist, a beauty specialist at Sephora, and she just rocks out. She's been doing this for 10 years. And I lean on her for asking about a lot of questions like skincare and, hey, Shantae, I'm doing a bride next week. You know, like, she has really oily skin and I have all these products, but, you know, what can you recommend for me to use so that she sets all day and not get all oily? You know, so it's definitely like a connection and a plus in having another makeup artist at your right hand side, because it can help you in the long run. I don't see it much as a competition. I see it more like, okay, I can help you if you help me.
Right.
You know, like, that's just how I view mainly everything these days, even at work. I can help you if you help me too. Like, we could get this done together and get out of here by 5:30. So that's just how I view a lot of things.
I mean, my office spaces can be a little different. I don't want to suggest that it's not. I mean, we certainly have people who will dive right in there in the nitty gritty. But what happens when you find yourself in a situation situation where you're not necessarily getting the help that you need, or when you become the person that everybody's coming to, like, how do you think it'll change for you then?
Well, I think I have to just trust in God, and hopefully he could guide me in the right direction.
Well, I like that.
But
I like it.
So you're asking basically if I blow up, how I'm handle it?
Well, see, I'm not saying if, because I know you will.
All right, so when I'll blow up.
When you blow up, when you are in the position that you're the one that everybody's running, like, oh my God, you saw Jamela Joseph was here, Enhanced Beauty by Jay. Oh my God, I need my face done. Remember, she said beep, beep, beep.
Right. At that point, I mean, by that time, I would hope that I have a stronger team. You know, not saying that my mom ain't strong.
That is it.
Definitely more people on my team that can help me,
Sure.
you know, with guiding these people that are demanding me to actually come and do some makeup for them. It'll take some skill building and time management, because I definitely would love to beat everybody's face, and I'm sure I will, but it will definitely take some time management.
Then you will just be transitioning
At that
to
point, I would have an
teaching.
assistant. Yes, at that point, I would have an assistant.
And you'll be
a
the
PR
Russian
person.
lady
Yes, I would be my
teaching
instructor
classes.
teaching. I love
Where the
her.
money is. Just let all the makeup artists who are serious
Let me
come
tell
to
you, makeup, you can go so far with it. My instructor, her name is Nina, and she once told me she charged $5,000 for a wedding. Okay?
So where are these makeup classes?
Yeah, down the street on 33rd Street.
Girl, I don't know where we are.
She right around the corner.
Okay, let's go
Yes,
right
on
now.
33rd Street.
5,000.
She charged $5,000
Nice.
for a client. But, you know, she's up there. She's high end. She's been in the industry for over a decade.
And you will be there
Yes,
so
honey.
soon.
Yes.
So soon before you know it.
Yes, yes.
We will be like, girl, did you get her number?
Okay.
I don't even think she'll remember me.
I remember
it.
faces. Names
DM
I might
her.
be terrible
DM her.
with. Yes. You'll be lucky if I remember to respond. That's funny, though, because a lot of makeup artists now that are up and coming, even when you DM them, they do respond, you know, but a lot of times it's kind of hard for them to kind of just remain in contact with you.
Oh.
You know, so you got to catch them while you can. But that's how I've actually met a few of the models that attended my event. You
Okay.
know, yeah, one of the fashion designers that I did makeup for. She's also an up and coming fashion designer called Tiffany Toussaint. She makes amazing dresses. And I actually saw her on Instagram and I inboxed her about her dresses. And then she followed up with asking me to do makeup for her fashion show. And then that's how we made a connection. I
That's
ended up
really
doing makeup for her
nice.
show. And then with that connection, I got 2 models out of her. So,
That's really nice.
yeah, like Gracie, who was my model
Look
at the
at
last event.
you.
So sometimes it doesn't hurt to, just hit up your sister girlfriend on
Just to
Instagram,
say
like,
hi.
hey, I like your
Right.
work. Just compliment them. And you never know what could come out of it. So
That's so awesome.
yeah, that's how I try to make as many connections as possible. You got to get in good wherever you can. So
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So how long do you give yourself to balance, to do the balancing act of tech designer and makeup artist?
Oh my gosh, I hope not forever, because I'm telling you, I can't do it. The 9-to-5 life, like I was told, is not for everyone, and I'm starting to see it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It pays the bills and it allows me to get more makeup.
Sure.
Makeup definitely is a trendy thing.
Yep.
Everything is new, just like Jordans and all these things that's coming out,
Right.
and the iPhones
They
and all that
definitely have a
stuff.
shelf life.
Makeup is the same way, so you always have to keep up. And these things aren't cheap.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm not a YouTuber where I'm getting sponsors, because everything in my event is coming from Jamela Joseph.
Right.
So in the long run, I would have to say that would be something that I'm working on to get more sponsors,
Do you think you want to go the YouTube route?
I don't know. I'm trying to actually pull back from it. That is some place that you would definitely gain a huge following from.
Okay.
YouTube, and no offense to anyone that's on YouTube, because I even sit back and watch YouTube myself. It just takes a lot of time. And of
Got
course, with my job and then trying to do freelance makeup on the side, it can definitely
It's a lot.
become overwhelming. Even to edit your videos is a thing. It takes a while. But I'm sure as you continue to do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. But I think I want to be a little different. A lot of makeup artists out here, they're not on YouTube and they're doing just fine.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna be okay if I don't really go that route.
I think you will as
Yeah.
well. Like the pond is big. Like I
Yes.
don't think you have to. I get it that it probably feels oversaturated,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
everywhere you turn, there's somebody telling you that they can
Mhm.
do X, Y, and Z. But
I've
are
definitely
they
felt-
certified?
Right. I've definitely
Are
felt
they
the pressure
trained? Yeah.
about joining YouTube, and basically people trying to push me in the direction that everybody else is going. And I feel like sometimes it's not always worth it. Like, I don't want to do that. And not
Right.
necessarily saying that I haven't, gotten advice from people where I haven't taken the constructive criticism, I should say.
Right.
And, take on the ideas that people have presented to me and which direction I should go in. But I definitely feel like sometimes I just don't really think it may work for me. It might work for somebody else, but not for Jamela Joseph.
Well, I think it's great to also know yourself, right?
Yeah.
Your limitations, what
Right.
won't work for you, what does
Right.
work for you, instead of pushing to continue to push in a direction that won't work for your own health,
Right.
right? Like your sanity. It's
Oh,
important,
yeah. Oh,
right?
my
Like
goodness,
you need
girl.
to feel,
Ooh.
you need to be energized and recharged enough to go ahead and take a stab at the next day. So no, I get it. I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to tell us about what's next? Like where we can find you next? Like we heard that you're only going to do the 2, what is it? Mascara and Moscato. Good.
Right. And this time around, it was beauty of the eyes. So I showed
Okay.
a lot of eye makeup, how to do a smoky eye and a glittery eye
Yes,
from a
I
day to night
learned.
look. And that was amazing.
I learned.
You did
so
really
much.
good.
I did. And look.
You beat the hell out of that face.
So then if we're whittling it down to 2 a year,
Right.
which sounds great, right? But what about the rest of the year?
Well, the rest of the year, I'll be out there doing my thing, freelancing.
Okay.
I just did 4 people this past weekend to go to a Great Gatsby party.
Wow.
And I was tired. And that was just 4 people.
4 people. That sounds like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
On
I
average,
mean-
how many?
Okay,
how long
so,
do you spend on one person?
Technically, you want an amazing flawless face from Enhancing Beauty by Jay, you need about at least an hour to sit down in my chair so we can get things
Seriously?
right. But people don't really understand when I tell people, okay, I need a 3-hour window to do your makeup, before your event starts. I mean it. Like, I really do need that 3 hour, because you get distracted for one. You have to factor in time for lateness. You have to factor in time for, the person may not be ready when I get there, because that has happened to me on several occasions where I showed up to my client's home or, the venue, and I'm waiting around and
That's nice.
nobody's there yet. So I definitely put that 3-hour window in there, and I'm like really firm about my timing.
That's so thoughtful.
So yeah, I would say 45 minutes to 60 minutes per person, because I like to actually take my time and make sure everything looks good to my likings. I'm really like a perfectionist when it comes to makeup, which is like a good and a bad thing.
Why bad?
Bad because it could slow me down, and I would look at her face like, okay, wait, let me just fix that real quick, and it'll be perfectly fine. And I just feel like, to me, it ain't right.
Okay. I mean, I would like to sit in the chair of a perfectionist makeup artist.
It goes quick though, like that 45 minutes to 60 minutes definitely goes quick, because I'm talking, I'm connecting with my client. I'm also trying to, just keep her comfortable. It gets to a point where it's more of like a relaxing, soothing, application other than makeup. It's like you connect with your client and you feel so relaxed, so it just goes really, really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Next though, as far as what's happening next, I really did tell myself that this workshop was it for me this year. It was so overwhelming in a good way.
All the sighs of disappointment. They want to be there.
It was great. But who knows? You never know. I might pop up on Christmas Day like, hey, y'all, New Year's workshop coming up.
I would be there in a heartbeat.
It just takes a while.
And happily.
Yeah, it takes a while. So, But I'm trying to work on a lot of great things. I'm trying to network and build, build my website to, make sure I connect with the clients in the right way. I'm trying to do more photo shoots. I'm just trying to build and gain more exposure, and I'm open to doing a lot. I'm open to freelancing anywhere. I'm also open to just assisting for people just to get my hands wet. Nobody's perfect, and you can always learn from the next best person.
Sure.
So yeah, that's probably what's next for me. I mean, aside from the freelance gigs, but that's
hey, listen,
it.
I'm here for it. And honestly, I can't thank you enough for sharing your time, telling us how you're creating your life. This is really, really good. Like, I'm so excited. I mean, I know we'll talk after this, and I can't wait to continue strategizing with you.
Oh, yes.
So much fun when we do that together. But I wanted to know, did you want to tell people where you are, social media, how can they find you, if they want to get their face beat, if they want to see your work from the past?
Yes. Well, I'm on Instagram and Facebook right now. And my business page on Instagram is Enhancing Beauty by Jay. And Facebook, it's also Enhancing Beauty by Jay. You can also follow me on my personal page, Jamela Joseph on Facebook, and JAYJ for you on Instagram. But if you really want to check out my Instagram beauty page, you can definitely follow Enhancing Beauty by Jay. If you want to reach me via email, it's enhancingbbeautybj@gmail.com.
Nice. BJ, nice.
Yes, because it was just so long to put by J, and people just get tired after a while typing all that. Yeah,
put all the words. I want all the letters. Give me all the letters. Gmail. They take so much. Give them back. Thanks again, Jamela.
No
so
problem.
excited to have had you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All the best. I can't wait until all the little makeup artists are running to you as a big
I'll
makeup
keep
artist.
you posted.
Girl, I'm gonna know. I'm be like, where we going?
Yes, everywhere.
Thank you, Jay.
No problem.
Thank you, BJ. So that was Creating the Life That You Want with Jamela Joseph. I'm so excited I know her personally, but so excited to speak to her about her everyday life, like what she does at work, how she got to where she is, and where she's going next. I'm so excited for her future. I really think that she's going to be awesome. I hope you guys feel the same. Have any questions like what you heard? Make sure you email us. We're at views with an S viewsfromacubicle@gmail.com. I have all the letters. You can find us on Instagram, same Views from a Cubicle. Thanks to the super producers, and this has been episode 2 of Views from a Cubicle, creating the life you want. #, go ahead, create it.